And it's indeed a pleasure to be able to welcome you all to Beaumont, those that are newer to Beaumont, those that are businesses in Beaumont. It's also great that you participated. And of course, those that are elected officials from our region, I'm very pleased to have you join us as well. The support that you provide is definitely very much appreciated, and it's great to work with dedicated individuals in our region. Also, MP Lake, it's great to have you join us again. And our MLA is not here, but his office is represented, so thank you, Colleen, for joining us. Lisa introduced the members of council that are present here, and again, I feel very fortunate to work with this team to provide the direction for the development of Beaumont and to support the work that we have to do with our residents. Also, I would like to, at this point, formally acknowledge and publicly acknowledge our staff who are here, and also those that are still working that are not able to be here for their contributions to our success. So I will ask our staff, I won't introduce them individually, but I will ask them to please stand. Thank you very much again. And also, as you will soon find out, 2015 was an extremely busy year for Beaumont, and as we look at what we're working on for 2016, I can promise that we'll be busy again. So we're very proud of the accomplishments that we will be speaking about today, and others that we may not have included. Hey, it works. The Beaumont Chamber of Commerce, thank you very much for putting on the event, coordinating all the details, and also I wish to extend my thanks to the Beaumont Chamber of Commerce. As the Chamber enters its third year, I want to say how pleased we are that the business community has come together to support each other and also to be the voice of the business community in Beaumont. We welcome our new president, Lisa Vanderkwak. And also, I'd like to take a moment to thank the outgoing chair, Mr. Ron Ancharak. Ron, where are you? There he is. For the work that you've done from the transitioning from the Business Association to the Chamber. So congratulations to all of you and all the members of the Chamber for the job well done and the good work. So the next item that we'll touch on is the Beaumont Strategic Plan. I believe there's one of these brochures on your table, and if you don't have one, we can certainly make them available to you. So it's a 5-year plan, and we update it annually, so it continues. It's a rolling plan, so we continue to work with that. So there's 6 key focus areas, and those are the areas that I will be touching on today. And the elected officials and our administration use this document for the priorities that we've established for our community in the long term. Oops. So the 6 key focus areas that we will talk about is the first one is communication and citizen engagement. Oh, I missed a page. Sorry. Leave it there. Okay, so the second one is community identity. The third one is economic development. The fourth is fiscal and asset management. The fifth is people services, and the sixth is smart growth. So the presentation is, as I indicated, will be based on those 6 key areas, and within those key focus areas, we've also identified some priorities, 11 strategic outcomes, and priorities that we will work on and that are measurable as we go through our year. So the first key focus area is in the strategic plan is communications and citizen engagement. And people will say, well, why are you concerned about communications? Well, as a politician, we talk maybe too much, but we're often challenged about the communications and the information that we share with the residents. So these are three three documents that we've developed to assist in promoting what the town of Beaumont is doing. So there's a strategic plan and the citizen engagement document that is there, the report card, and the report to the community. So those are the three documents that we've published over the course of this last year. They've got a new look, and they outline some of the successes that the town of Beaumont has worked on over the last year. So the next one is we also have on an ongoing basis a newsletter that we call the Beaumont Communicate, and that also got a facelift this year. There's also a new Click It online registration that's been introduced for the Aquafit memberships and community and recreational programs that was launched this last year. The programs that we had were no longer supported, so we had to go through the process of using a new system. So that's there as well. And the last one on this slide is the Snow Time program. Lucky for us, we haven't seen a whole lot of snow this winter. But anyways, it's a new online program that provides daily updates about the snow clearing that's on our website and through our social media, so people can find out if we're going to be removing snow and which part of town and when. And the comments have been well received. The next document is also, we've also worked on improving the communication tools by the various departments. So some of them you may recognize, the Beaumont Approved, that was recently in the paper. There's a couple others, so that the look is going to be, it's going to be consistent in all our development ads. So in 2016, we'll also continue this initiative so that we have all ads have a visual connection to that area for the organization. So these should look familiar, and if they don't at this point, by the end of the year, they should look familiar for sure. The next document is also a sample of the ads that we've developed with the Novell. So we've tried to modernize the look and make them easier as we lay them out for residents to be able to read, specifically looking for the information that they need to know about in the newspaper. And we trust that you will find these more appealing as we go forward. One item that we've worked, an initiative that is underway, is looking at the purchase and installation of an electronic message center that will allow us to provide with the residents with better information on Beaumont programs, events, and other announcements, such as watering bans if we have to, or restrictions or fire bans. This is expected to be located on the north side of town here, and I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's going to look like, but it's in the works to redevelop it. So again, we feel that this is an important addition to ensure that the word gets out to our residents. Some don't look at the newspapers, some don't look on the website, some don't talk to their neighbors, some don't talk to the politicians, so maybe we can get the message out to them some other way. The next item that we've worked on, and our friends in communications had a lot of fun, a lot of work to develop this. So the social media program has grown tremendously over 2015. So we have over 1,500 followers at the present time, and the tweeters, we had over 700 followers. So those are good numbers as we rolled out this media program in the last year. So for 2016, we're looking forward to new mobile-enabled, highly functional websites. So there's work that's going to be done on that, and apparently it's supposed to be easier for our residents to find the information and anyone else to find the information that they may be looking for. There's also looking at producing some promotional videos to post on the YouTube channel, and I suspect that this little camera is exactly for that. And finally, we plan to introduce an online payment system for certain municipal services. So there again, rather than mail and rather than post-dated checks, etc., there's the ability that our residents can look after those payments themselves. And yes, we heard lots about garbage in 2015. One initiative that has been very well received is the new waste collection application. And I'm not sure, you're probably not able to read it from back there, but it's certainly on our website. And over the course of the modified changes that we brought for garbage pickup and the scheduling, etc., this was developed. And several communities, a couple communities in the Edmonton region are using this application, and some other major cities, as in Victoria and Vancouver, are using this application as well. So if you have not signed up and you want to know what date your garbage is going to be picked, what is going to be picked, whether it's recycling, the regular, etc., there's an opportunity to visit our site and sign up on that. The next area, the next area is the citizen engagement, and there's, I misorganized my pages here, sorry. The citizen engagement focus, and over the course of this last year, we held several meetings with our residents on the aquafit lands, the open space and trails master plan, the UDCP is our downtown urban center concept, our budgets, and of course the online registration system. So those are some pictures of some of the events that took place, and it's great to we always welcome and appreciate the feedback from our residents and our business community. So if there's any additional ways that we can assist you with that, we'll be happy to do so. The next one is some engagement tools. It's always a challenge with a young and busy community to be able to solicit feedback from our residents. So we recently published a Beaumont public participation guide, and that will be used for online surveys, open houses, design charrettes, as we're planning any new construction, new phases of subdivisions. There's an opportunity there. Direct feedback from our residents, and also focus groups. So this is a tool that can be that will serve as we look at the various initiatives on council, that will serve us in establishing the mechanism that we wish to communicate and solicit feedback from our community. The next one is on, this is the second key focus area, is our strategic plan, and that's specifically community identity. So to give you some perspective, it is important to consider how Beaumont has grown and continues to grow. So our population in 2015 was just under 17,000. I had some bets that we would hit 17,000, but I guess the babies were too slow in coming. We also increased our population by over 940 people, so that's just under a 6% increase from last year. And we continue to be the 7th fastest growing community in Canada, and the the fastest growing community in Alberta. And so since 2003, you can note there, our population has increased by over 10,000 residents. So I guess that might account for some of the white hair I wear today. The next item that we've identified, that we would like to see Beaumont as a community of choice. And so our goal is to try to accomplish that. And some of our features are the church on the hill, the renewed Centre-Ville, so this is the downtown area, our reputation with community with a community with a French flair, and great recreation, entertainment programs, and various events. So those are some of the long-term items that we may be working on. So again, on some of the community identity, Beaumont is outpacing the highest scenarios for population growth with the capital region. So in 2015, the projections, or the numbers, were actually the 16,768, and the projections for the capital region board, the high growth was at 16,651. So we exceeded that somewhat, and with the capital region board, there's three levels: the low, the medium, and the high. And Beaumont has, over the course of these years, has exceeded the high numbers for the population. So we have a very young population, and if you have a business in Beaumont, if you drive around Beaumont, There's certainly no doubt of lots of young folks in our community. And I'm not sure that you may be able to reach or read all the numbers that are there, but some of them that I'll focus on. There's 27.7% of our population that's under the age of 15. So if you think that doesn't put pressure on our facilities, that's certainly facilities, parks, and no doubt our schools. So that's great to see. We also estimate that the parents of this young segment of our population represent about 30% of our population. So overall, there's over 57% of our population that's represented into those two demographics. It's equally important, and I guess because I'm in that category now, we have a vibrant population of residents over the age of 60 who are looking forward to be able to age in our community. So as you can see, regardless of the current economic conditions, Beaumont continues to be the place in the Edmonton region. Now, my fellow mayors may not agree with me, but I have to say it. The next item is our community center, and we have, that was mentioned earlier, the Centre Communautaire Beaumont Community Center is coming along. We are excited that this facility will be opening hopefully this summer, and we have to thank and acknowledge the work of a whole bunch of individual volunteers that have worked on this CCBCC project, the seniors, the Lions, the Knights of Columbus, and a whole group of other volunteers that have been involved in the project. So we certainly appreciate the work that they've done. It's taken from, depending on who you talk to, approximately 10 years to get to where we are with this project. It's a very attractive facility. You can see some of the outside. The inside is presently under construction, so we had an opportunity last week to go have a look at the facility, and it indeed going to be a very attractive facility, and we know that it'll be meeting the needs, filling the needs of a lot of community needs and groups in our community. The next one is our centre-ville, so this is in the downtown area. So additional changes to the centre-ville include the new Manos building, so that's the first one on the left-hand side. It will feature Jeff's Cafe, the Chartier restaurant, which is a French cuisine restaurant, and a Pizza Hut, plus several other residential suites that will be on the upper stories. On the bottom right, there's the picture of the former Shell site. So it's a temporary park in our centre-ville, and it was designed and built literally on a very cost-effective budget by two young leaders on our staff, and we thank Sadie Miller and Lisa Drury for the work that was done on that. So this park will remain in place at the present time until the rest of the development in the downtown area, as you can see that middle slide, until the development in our downtown. So we are very pleased. There's a picture on the far, I guess on your right, there's a picture of our downtown area, and we're very pleased with the new look of our centre-ville, along with the 50th Street. There's new signage, the sidewalks, the flowers, the decorative items, the benches, the garbage. So it brings a whole new look to the downtown. And once some of the trees that we've planted in start growing, it promises to be very, very attractive, very effective for our downtown. Another group that we've been working with is the Conseil de développement économique de l'Alberta. So it's a francophone economic development organization in Alberta. So I'm the chair of that group, and Mayor Krause is the vice chair. And we recently approved the strategic plans for 2016 to 2018. And some of the initiatives that we're working on are what we call green initiatives, so dealing with the environment. There's obviously future plans for developing and expanding the network because it's relatively new. And there's also possible involvement with the Francophone Organization of the Americas and the Caribbean. So that we have the website there. And if you wish to get any additional information, we're certainly happy to be able to provide them. The next item is I skipped the page here, sorry. No. The next item is on economic development. Here we go. Sorry. This is our third focus. Our third focus area is economic development. And to start this section, I wanted to point out that nearly 20% of our residents now work in Beaumont. And I know when I started working in Beaumont, that number was significantly smaller. So that's definitely good news for the employment opportunities that have been created by the new businesses and investors in our community. There's also over 40% based on the census that work in Edmonton. And so there's obviously location is an attractive feature for that. So we know that Beaumont residents are employed in a variety of industries in the capital region and also around the province. So while oil and gas are certainly important sectors, our workforce is more diverse than we often think as we do the census. So the strength of the regional economy is reflected in the diversity of employment sectors that have been confirmed by our residents. So we recently developed a community investment profile, a publication that our economic development officer and even our Chamber of Commerce can use to help attract potential businesses by highlighting the advantage to setting up a shop in Beaumont. And there's a sample of that document on your table as well. The next item that we also was involved in is the Business in Edmonton magazine to promote Beaumont as a fine place to both operate a business and to raise your family. Several local businesses also purchased ads to support the promotion. So thank you to those businesses that did support the program. And based on the targeted campaign, we estimate that about 25,000 people were reached with that campaign. So there again, there's a sample on your table. We also participated with the Leduc-Nisku Economic Development Association for the Invest in Alberta publication, where we are prominently featured. So we continue to support the Leduc-Nisku EDA in 2016, and we're happy to work with our partners also in the Leduc sub-region. So the next sheet indicates it's all about business. So in 2015, we are pleased that 22 new commercial storefront businesses opened their doors in Beaumont. We have 159 commercial storefront businesses in total, and that net increase is 9 from 2014. Additionally, there's 316 home-based businesses in Beaumont, so a lot of people work from home, and I guess, we can look at the economy, we look at technology, and if people have a choice to work out of their home, they take advantage of that. So we saw an increase of 33 new home-based businesses. So in total, we have 475 Beaumont-based businesses, and there's 713 licensed businesses entities in 2015. So that includes builders, developers, contractors, temporary businesses, out of town, and other licensed entities. So these numbers definitely confirm that there is investor confidence in our community, and we also, if you've driven in Beaumont, there's also several other construction projects that are going to be into place, and we anticipate that those will be completed in 2016. So that again is good news for our business community, and also for employment opportunities right here in Beaumont. The next one is housing information. So you have the average assessment based on our budgets in Beaumont was 443,000, 307 residential properties sold in 2015, and the range varied from 234 to 619, and the average sale price was over 431,000. And in other areas of Beaumont, there's some homes that have not been built that are pushing over the million figure. So there's definitely a variety of choices for where you may choose to live in Beaumont. So the multifamily and semi-detached homes, there's some pictures, and I trust our sponsors should recognize those. Definitely assist in creating an additional mix and opportunities for first-time home buyers or renters in Beaumont as we try to increase our population density. The Capital Region is also working on an economic development initiative and under consideration for 2016, and this will be a new undertaking for the CRB. There's also an initiative along there being considered that would help promote regional economic activity in order to better support economic development in the CRB region, the member municipalities, the province, nationally, and it's been suggested even that there's work to be done internationally. So work is presently being done on that, and the town of Beaumont has continued to provide feedback and input in that process as well. So no, the town of Beaumont is not for sale, but we do, however, have some land that's for sale. And I guess the 30th Avenue, so that's on the south end of Beaumont that connects by where the RCMP station is, if you're familiar with Beaumont going west, that's 30th Avenue. And that road had not been connecting the rest of our community for quite some time. So our council administration decided that we needed to be innovative in the process to be able to bring that road to fruition. So there was a land swap that was involved, and the 30th Avenue is now completed and connecting Beaumont from the 50th Street, the Ring Road, all the way to the west end of Beaumont. So as a result of the land swap, there's some land that we now have for sale, and that we're working on the process there. That's going to be a multifamily site, and there are negotiations in place right now on the property. So we're confident that this will move as we had identified. The next item is some partnership opportunities. There's some brochures on your table as well, and that's we developed a corporate partnership program. So it gives you opportunities to partner for various events that take place in our community. It's also looking at naming rights of some of our major facilities, so the Aquafit, the new community center, and the Ken Nickel within that. So it gives you opportunities for all sizes of business, from the large business to the home-based businesses, to be able to participate in the program. So here's your opportunity, and I'm sure that Bert will be happy to talk to you to line up whatever your interest may be. On the development side, 2015 was a strong year for Beaumont, with over $75 million in permits of all types issued. So we've got single family, there were 41 million, multifamily, 18.5, commercial, 8.8, institutional, very small number. There's some more that's coming in 2016, and then overall a total of 75 million. That compares to about 90 million in 2014, and roughly the same figures as 2013. So there's strong growth that continues to occur in our community, but also we have limitations as to where these businesses can set up, so that we'll have some dialogue shortly on the annexation. On the lot inventory, we still have over 500 bare land lots, so there are opportunities in various parts of the community where you can build your home. And but that too, as the inventory dwindles, there's some challenges to be able to keep up with that. The fourth key focus area is fiscal and asset management, and I'm not sure you can read the pie chart, but anyways, the largest single category of revenue, of course, is the municipal and library taxes. However, the town of Beaumont, through our administration, has worked extensively to maximize potential grants and dollars that we can get from every different possible level of government, so that it enables us to look after some of our ever-growing community. to kind of tie into what we've done on 50th Street. Replacement and upgrade of the playground equipment. There's lots of history behind Long Slide Park, but anyways, it was a long, very long slide that had to be torn down, and we need to replace that. Finalizing of the Dunstrow Community Park project, so that's on the northwest part by the two schools, the joint schools in Beaumont. Engineering design standards are going to be reviewed, and nuisance ground remediation, so that's the former landfill. So there's work that's going to be done to try to clean that site so we can make it work for us. The 30th Avenue Stormwater Management Facility construction, which is the furthest southwestern part of Beaumont. There's a natural, there's a slough, etc. there, and that is going to be completed to tie into the 30th Avenue roads and the Centre-Ville storm sewer servicing. So you wanted to talk about 2016, so a lot of the items that we'll talk about are now going into 2016. So as the growing community, there's a list of new operating initiatives that will be started, and hopefully several of them will be completed. So with the growing community, there's also need for additional RCMP officers, and with the growth, it's all good, but ultimately there'll be a price to pay with the new census, with the increase in population that we have. Our cost of policing will obviously go up substantially from that. There's also work that's going to be done, the Municipal Development Plan, we call it the MDP, and the Transportation Master Plan. The documents are put in place to set up the process there, and we will be working on that over the course of this last year. The Downtown Urban Design Concept, there's work that needs to be done on the design of water and sanitary sewer infrastructure. And also, we will be partnering with the U of A, which you just heard last night, on the parking study that will be done on the Centre-Ville area. The Aquafit fitness equipment, there's a life cycle process that we have, but I guess there's more wear and tear on the equipment, so we decided that we needed to speed up the process of replacement those. The Lions Club has asked the town of Beaumont to partner with them to look at a campground feasibility study, because there is no campground in Beaumont. There's a very small spot for a few lots on the Lions Park, but there's limited space there. There's also an urban forestry analysis and tree planting. A lot of residents are asking for more green, more trees in our community, so that's been approved. Also, early childhood development project, new park benches. If our regional partners wish to work with us, there's also a Black Mud Creek watershed study that needs to be done. And the website is also anticipated to be redesigned. Mr. Burt, this is here we go. So there's some of the major projects, and I'm not going to go through all of them. One of the major initiatives that we have to work on, and Mayor Christie and the Duke said they had no other trucks for sale, fire trucks for sale. So we have to replace one of our fire trucks. And there's close to $600,000 estimated expenditure for that. And also street improvement program at the bottom, there's 1.4 million that's identified there. And as we look at the economy and the challenges that we're all facing, it was determined with this council and our administration that we need to continue to invest in our infrastructure. The roads are getting older and other items are getting older, and we need to make sure that we maintain and replace them so that we don't have a major problem with them in the future. So there's some more of the additional costs. The community center's got an $11.3 million budget attached to it, and there's some additional dollars that from our budget this year that went into that center. So that's a picture of what it's anticipated to look like, and based on what I've seen so far construction-wise, that's what it looks like. So the next area is our focus area is people services, and that touches anything to deal with services that we provide to our residents. And the first item that we talked about in here, and there's also one of those on your tables, are the various key events that will take place. And we have about a dozen plus official events that are planned in 2016. So we have a family day at the pool. There's also culture day at the library. There's a town and country days that will be happening on June the 17th to the 19th. And the Beaumont Blues and Roots Festival is happening again at the same time. So the whole town is celebrating. So here we also have the Ag Society that have assisted with us, the Dream Cruisers with their show and shine. And so there's a lot of activity, a lot of events taking place in Beaumont. And at this point, I'd like to thank the volunteers and the volunteer groups for their commitment to assist the municipality in the various initiatives such as these, and also looking at assisting in improving life in Beaumont. Additionally to that, we have the Canada Day events, and that continues to draw a lot of people. Brighten Up Beaumont is also a showcase event, and that's usually a winter type of festival. And last year, for the first time in many years, the weather cooperated with us because the previous years we had -30, -40, so not too conducive to seeing young families come out. So this last year, in November, we had excellent weather, and we estimate there were probably close to 1,000 participants between the school and at Four Seasons Park with the outdoors activities. We also have a Remembrance Day that is organized principally by our Beaumont Fire Department, and the Promotions Committee also works with these groups for the various events there. And the Promotions Committee are a group of volunteers and representatives from council, and we certainly appreciate the work that's done there. So we also, you can see a full list of events if you want to make Beaumont your choice to visit for those events. And I trust that we'll see many of you come out to Beaumont at that time. The next one continues with, we talked about our population. So here are two artists rendering of our two new schools. So one of them is the Star Catholic School, which is in Plachadeur, so that's on the west side of 50th Street, and Black Gold School, which is by our soccer fields, Les Chandeliers. So funding was announced by the province for the two new schools, and construction is slated to begin in spring of 2016. And as I gave you some numbers, these educational facilities are definitely a welcome announcement in addition to our community. So those were some excellent provincial announcements that were brought to us. And continuing with the provincial announcements, the town of Beaumont is working presently to introduce a commuter bus system from Beaumont to Edmonton, and we're hoping to make it work for January 2017. So Beaumont was successful in our application for the provincial green trip funding, and that is also, as we've identified there, the capital region has some transit priorities, and our ask was endorsed and supported by the capital region, and so we were successful in getting approximately 66% of the dollars required for the capital purchase, such as the buses and bus stops, but the operating, etc., comes out of municipal coffers. So this addition is going to have impact on the long-term finances of our community as well. One of the other area that we looked at is a site feasibility study that was completed in 2015, and that's adjacent to the Aquafit. So the Aquafit is the building there. The area that we looked at is the pinkish purple area. We received over 1,100 individual comments on what could possibly go on that site. So there are two options that we're looking at is a hockey arena and an indoor field house. So lots of people had opinions, and they took advantage of providing and giving us their opinions on that. So further analysis and costing is underway, and that will be brought to our spring planning session in mostly April or May, April I believe, and hopefully we hope to be able to set a direction for what can go on that future site. So the next item is going to touch on annexation. So this is our sixth key focus area is smart growth. So we've identified residential land. We have less than 9 years of supply remaining. Commercial, business, and urban services, we have next to no land available. and our tax base is 95% residential, 5% non-residential. So when we comment about commercial initiatives, new businesses, new buildings coming to our community, that is definitely a must and definitely appreciated for those targets. The Capital Region, or the Capital Region Board, Leduc Sub-Region are looking for certainty. So developers, commercial investors, owners, residents, and the municipalities themselves need to have confidence in the future boundaries in order to plan for the long term of our community. As the future is uncertain, it creates a lot of angst, a lot of concerns about what Beaumont will look like. And as we've identified, there's next to no non-residential land, so the timely decision is critical for all parties involved there. So this is what the annexation process. A successful annexation bid will double the area of the town. We need this new land because we're rapidly reaching out of the limits for growth, and people keep on choosing to make Beaumont their choice of residence. So at the present time, the municipal government board hearings were concluded at the end of June, so that's where we're at in the process. So now we're waiting for the municipal government board to make their recommendations to the minister, and then the province will make its recommendation on that ask. So this gives you a highlight of the land asked. So there are 21 quarter sections of land that we asked for. At the present time, we have approximately 16 quarters for the boundary, and the area that's kind of a mustardy color are the 21 quarters that we asked for as part of our annexation. And overall, when we look at the regional map, the town of Beaumont is a very small speck with the gold color in the middle there, and that situates you as the overall size of our small relative size, considering or comparing to the whole Leduc County area. So the next area I wanted to touch about is on partnerships, and we've tried to show to our folks here and also others the partnerships that the town of Beaumont has. So we've got everything from joint use facilities, there's some Leduc Region initiatives, recreation facilities, Capital Region Board, the community center, the partnerships with the school, the aquafit, the operations, the library. So those are all the various. We've got shared agreements, and we've got funding from various partners in there, so that there are several key projects that we continue to collaborate with our regional partners, both from the government and public sector agencies. So this is the interconnectivity of all the groups that the town of Beaumont presently works with. So the Capital Region Board, we touched briefly on it. So Beaumont is a member of the Capital Region Board. It consists presently of 24 municipalities in the Greater Edmonton region. So Mayor Krause is the chair, and I'm the vice chair, and also the chair of the Governance, Priorities, and Finance Committees. So we continue to be good neighbors, good regional neighbors, and we feel that being at the CRB table is of advantage because we'd rather know what's going on around us or what will eventually come out around us at that table rather than finding out through various sources of media. So this is, picture's a little bit dark, but on January 12th, myself, members of our council, and our administration with Minister Danielle Lavillée, Minister of Municipal Affairs, and her senior staff, and our MLA, Mr. Anderson, was also able to be there. The purpose of the meeting was to build relationships with the new government and continue the ongoing dialogue that we always enjoyed with our province. It was also a very productive meeting, and we had some excellent dialogue with the participants. And of course, we continue to work with all levels of our government leaders at all levels. And I'll take a moment to thank our former MLA, Mr. Rogers, and welcome Mr. Anderson, and offer congratulations to our MP, Mike Lake, for his re-election. The next is a thank you to our community partners. And we've identified who they are from the government, provincial, federal, the new county, FCM, which is the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, AUMA, Alberta Urban Municipalities, Beaumont Chamber, the Leduc Regional Chamber, the Edmonton Chamber, the Capital Region Board, Conseil de Développement Économique, and the Nisku EDA. So those are the major community partners that we work with. Also, a thank you to our educational partners, and there's the Black Gold Regional Schools, the Conseil Scolaire Centre-Nord. So I'm not sure if people were aware, but there was a new school with the Conseil Scolaire Centre-Nord. That's a French school that opened in Beaumont, and so that was in addition to our community, and of course St. Thomas Roman Catholic School, St. Thomas Aquinas. And our media partners, there were some that have been identified here: 93.1, Beaumont News, CBC Radio-Canada Television, the Sun, the Franco, Business in Focus, and Invest in Alberta. Oh, and I guess we missed the Edmonton Journal because I must be on their speed dial for some of the actions that take place in the region. And finally, we'll try to summarize the presentation. So Beaumont continues to be a high growth area in the region, even at times of economic changes. We continue to be the community of choice for over 1,000 residents, new residents every year. We will continue to diversify our housing options. We expect to see continued strong growth when compared to other jurisdictions in the region. And the 2016 plans that were approved in our budgets recognize the need to balance the expectations from our residents and the fiscal realities that we face. Commitments are in place for most of those projects that we've talked about, with funding from the province and other government agencies. 2016, we expect, will be a challenging year, according to the economists in the region. And please don't just stick to the input from the media, because it's doom and gloom out there, but we don't have that same vision. Beaumont, we expect that Beaumont is going to continue to increase, and we're well poised to meet the challenges that the economy may offer, and we look forward to a great 2016. This information will be on the town website in the next week or so, and at this point, if there's any questions, I'll try to answer them. If I can't, I see several of my town managers, senior officials, so we can ask them to answer the questions. Any questions? All right, thank you very much again for being here. Thank you for the Chamber for coordinating the event again, and have a good 2016.